Welcome to CWS Christian Writing and Speaking. I'm your host, Jackie Wilson, and today's guest is the owner and operator of SEO Optimizers, which is a digital marketing company that focuses on helping small and medium-sized businesses get more online traffic, which in turn converts into clients, sales, leads, and more. But what does that have to do with CWS and its Christian audience? Well, today's guest is going to show us how churches can rank higher on Google using SEO and bring in new members. Let's welcome to the CWS stage, Mr. Brandon Leibowitz. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you for having me on today. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. As I mentioned in the introduction, what you're talking about as far as helping churches gain more visibility online and connecting to the people that they're interested in is highly important to the church and what we look at when we look at discipleship overall. So today I want to really kind of focus on four aspects of this interview, which is, what's the problem? Why are people struggling to gain visibility, especially within the church? What is the solution? And how do we execute it, and how do we put the people in place so that we can execute it well? So I'm going to give it to you, Brandon. What is going on? What is the problem? Why are we not gaining visibility?
A lot of people just are not doing the right things that Google wants because Google changes their algorithm every single day on
Wow.
how they rank websites. So it becomes a full-time job where you got to stay on top of it, seeing what's working, what's not working, and constantly just tweaking the website. And it is like a full-time job because you got to be constantly optimizing the website. Otherwise, Google's not going to want to trust you and they're going to want to rank one of your competitors. So if you're not doing SEO actively, then it becomes tough to get Google to want to rank you or want to trust you because there's so many websites out there. And even if it's not a church, if Google, because sometimes when you search for your keywords, you'll see it's not always going to be your competitors. It might be like a Wikipedia page, or it could be an Amazon or something that you're like, why is this showing up? But if that's who's on that first page of Google, that's who Google thinks is relevant. And you got to show Google that you're really the most relevant by sending the right signals to them.
Yeah, I think that's very important. It's about who's showing up first, because whoever's on that first page, that is what people are going to start clicking, right?
Even if it's not a church or if it's a Wikipedia page, you might just be getting people that go to that Wikipedia page or go to some other page that's might be irrelevant, but they put the right keywords to get Google to trust them and want to rank them for your keywords. So you gotta just see who's on that first page of Google because we're not trying to be Google. Google changes every single day. So even if we try to be Google, tomorrow it changes. What matters is really who's on that first page of Google, how much SEO and how much marketing have they done, and how can we do a better job of it?
And I don't really think people understand what the word optimization means, other than we want to get them optimal results. Can you share a little bit more about the definition of that word and how it matters to the church?
So I guess optimizing just means making your website easy for the search engines to read and makes it just more friendly for the search engines. So there's a lot of things you could do to optimize your website, but you just want to make sure your website is as easy to navigate, understand, to read it for the search engines as possible, because the easier you make it for them, the easier they're going to make it for you to rank.
Yeah. So how do we do that?
Well, there's a lot of different things, but one thing that, well, Google looks at the coding on your website. So you want to go in the coding and make changes, which could be a little technical if you don't have a web developer or not well versed in that. So, but one thing that's really easy is just adding more text to your website.
Mm.
Google or all the search engines feed off text. They can't read images or videos yet. They're getting better at it, but they really, really need text. The more content or text you have on every single page on your website, the easier it is for them to read that, understand it, and then rank you for the correct keywords. So any page that you want to rank on Google needs content or needs text on it.
It almost seems like the churches should have a blog and not just a website full of pictures.
Oh yeah, no. If it's just full of pictures, Google can't read images or videos yet. They're getting better at it, but they can't really read them. The images, what they can read is a file name or
Mm-hmm.
videos or podcast or whatever it is. But anytime you upload something to your website, like an image, you don't want to just have it named image001.jpg or whatever. You want to name it something that describes it, what that
Mm.
image is, because that will help out a lot. But still, you need text to support all that stuff. So write a descriptive couple sentences about what that image is, about what was going on in that image, because that's really what Google and the search engines are going to be able to read. The image, they're not going to be able to read it yet. In the future, they will, but right now, they still struggle.
Yeah. And then as far as the blog, how often should a church blog?
I'd say once a month is sufficient. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
go crazy and vlog every single day, but if you could do more than that, that's fine. But once a month is really a good starting point. If you could do more, the better, but really one is good enough.
Yeah, because you're saying they're searching for certain text within your site. And if they can connect that text when people are searching for certain things, it can put you on the front page of Google.
Yep. And that's why a blog is a great way just to add more pages to your website, more text targeting different keywords to get new eyeballs on your website.
Yeah. So you mentioned about putting more text on the websites. And I think it's important. I mean, you already told us how to really execute it. The people that we need to focus on, you said, hey, if you don't have somebody can do it full time, what is your suggestion for how the church can get people involved so that we can have more people to create that optimization for the church? Like, what key people are important?
Anyone that's tech savvy or knows marketing would be the best. So if you have people at your church that you can reach out to that would be willing to donate their time, that would be great. If not, then you got to put your own time into it or spend money on hiring someone that knows what they're doing to help you out with it. But you got to have someone that knows what they're doing, because if you do the wrong things, instead of ranking higher, you actually drop down in rankings,
Mm,
which is the last thing we want to happen. So got to be very careful with SEO. You don't want to do the wrong things and send the wrong signals to Google, and then all of a sudden your traffic just disappears.
mm. And ultimately, you said that if we're able to do that, able to get on that front page of Google, we're able to actually bring in more members to the church, very similar to how businesses bring in clients. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Well, yeah, if you're on the first page of Google and someone's searching for church near me, and if you appear, then they're probably going to want to check you out and learn more about you. But if you're not on that first page of Google, I mean, people might go to page two for looking for a church or page three, but after that, they're probably not going to go much further than that. So if you're not on the first page, you're missing out a lot, and someone else is going to be getting that traffic and getting people coming to their church versus yours.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, what other things does the church really need to know? Because I think a lot of people think of churches only the religious aspect of it, Christianity aspect of it, maybe the mission work aspect of it. But the church is very similar to a business as well, because you have administrative duties that you have to take care of. What other tips from even the business world can you give to the church so that we can grow and have not necessarily the worldly success, but just have more success in connecting with people overall?
Just make sure you have good messaging, offer value, offer good content. Make sure you keep your update your website frequently with new content, new events that are going on. The calendar should be easy to check out, navigate through, and just making sure that everything's easy to go through with your website. Don't make it cluttered, or don't make it load slowly. Make it really nice on mobile. That's really going to help out and just make people more connected with it.
Yeah, I love it. Brandon, if people want to learn more about what you do and how to connect with you, where would they go?
Yes. So for everyone listening and watching, I created a special gift for them if they go to my website, SEOoptimizers.com. That's SEOoptimizers.com/gift. They can find that there along with my contact information. And I've done a bunch of other classes about digital marketing, all for free up there. So if they want to learn more and watch other classes, and if they have a website, I'm happy to check it out from an SEO point of view. let them know what's working and what's not working, and they could book some time on my calendar for free there.
Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, churches, pastors, ministry leaders, if you're listening, he has this free gift that'll tell you basically what you need to do to get that ranking up. So, Brandon, before we end today's interview, what is one thing that churches absolutely need to be doing right now to be fully optimized and out there so people can see them?
It wouldn't be one thing. There's so many things, but because with SEO, it's like a puzzle. You want to put all the pieces together. Some pieces are bigger than others. Like the content is really big, and getting backlinks, getting other websites to talk about you is really important as well. Those are kind of like the two bigger things, but there's so many little tiny things that go into that algorithm. But you gotta focus on the low hanging fruit, adding more content and getting backlinks, which are just other websites talking about you.
I love it. Thank you, Brandon, so much for sharing with us today. Church, there is a challenge issue. If you want to get on that front page, you got to put in work so that you are more visible to people. He's given us great tips about how to do that. And you can hire somebody or you can reach out to your church members to see who has the skills or abilities to actually do this type of work. But it's not much that you have to start with. But the most important part of it is you do have to start because somebody could be looking for a church near them. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And until next time, beautiful people, God bless.